Well, the storm has passed, so join us now as we go mudlarking on the Rumney River. Here we are, back on the Rumney River, visiting an area that we came to in the early days of Let's Go with the Johnsons. So we're going to see if there's new items have come down. I remember our excitement that day when we found a large trough, copper trough with lion head handles on. That was fantastic. And already as we've come down today, I can see the remnants of someone's coal house because there's lumps of coal washed up along here, because we've had some significant flooding in this part of Wales in recent times. So we're going to check out now what we can find, and who knows, perhaps there'll be more treasure for us today here on the Rumney River below Brifta.
And here we have a lump of coal. Now, if I put it there in the sunshine, you can see it a little bit better. This is house coal as opposed to anthracite, which is used in central heating systems. This was for the open fires. Some people still use it now, and a lot of people, they got a shed down the bottom of their garden that still has some coal in from years ago, and those sheds are in pretty bad condition. The fact that this is now on the banking after a flood, so close to the river, makes me think that somebody's shed has washed away, including bits of coal, because there's one there, and one there. Our first piece of china of the day.
It's
what have you found?
handful of just white.
All right.
Various thicknesses, rims, ridges and stuff. The reason that I've picked it up to point out is because it was all by here.
Right, in one spot, was it?
Just around here.
Right.
And I'm stood 4 meters
Let's have a look.
from the
Turn you
riverbank.
around slowly. There's the riverbank.
So obviously during the floods that water was rushing along here. If it's brought white pottery, which predominantly we find white because really until the mid 20th century there wasn't a lot of patterned. If it was posh stuff in the best cupboard and only came out when the vicar called. Plain white pottery was the name of the game because there wasn't the money around. So we find mainly this, but if this is washed up, then other things could be along here too. So encouraging, not exciting, but encouraging.
There's a chunk of pottery here. Let's have a look what that is. Well, you all know what I'm going to ask you. Is that plain or patterned? Plain, and it's ridged pottery. We always find ridged pottery.
See, bits all along here. See, there's the bottom of the cup there. Bit of china there. See it up in here under the moss. Another piece there. It's all peppered
white.
along. Yeah,
but
all
this
white.
is below a mining village, or several mining villages as the river flows up, and money was tight for the miners years ago, so yeah, more utilitarian things are found on these rivers.
Very sharp and smashed, but there's quite a thickness to that bit of glass, see, so
Oh yes.
there is stuff here.
Did you mean to do the splits?
Not quite, no, see, I slipped. But I was excited.
Excited?
Yes, gone from encouraged to excited.
What have you found?
Because, as you can see, the bank in here rises up. And there's bits of white china around showing that water level has been a good 12 foot higher than it is.
Yep.
But right under my foot,
All right. Oh, yes.
We've got a little bit of colour at last.
You have to pass it to me.
There we go. It's our old friend, and it
willow
is an
pattern.
old piece, that.
You can see some little Chinese people on there too.
There we go.
Let's have a look.
I tell you what it is.
Go on, then you tell me what it is.
I think I know what that is. I think that's the base
Yeah.
out of one of those big plates that they put the turkey and the meat on, and they had little ridges that the grease run through. So if you feel that, there's a line, and they don't make sense. There's a ridge, 2 ridges on it.
Oh,
like dips.
yes.
It's the base of a big meat plate. Sort of thing you put your turkey on at Christmas.
But that was a whomper when it started out.
Bits of white, and I thought, oh, it's nothing, but that one's a little bit interesting because I think that's the back of a doll's head.
Oh, yes.
I think so.
There's possibly some... Oh!
Whoa, throw it away, why don't you?
It's still alive. Yes, it does look like the back of it.
There's like 2 little holes and just a shape.
Yep, and I think
it's-
there's possibly hair marks on it. I don't know, I'll have to check it out. But yes, it could well be the back of a doll's head. It feels quite bisque as well, or bisque. Or biscuit way, which is, it's been through a first firing but was never second fired with a glaze. Sometimes because they were not worth keeping, they were seconds, and sometimes because they were made for something like a doll's head. So it could well be.
Can I just say as well, a big thank you to all those that express sympathy with me wet wellies on occasions, and forgiveness for all those who giggled and laughed along with my lovely wife Caroline.
Oh, we never laugh.
At
We
my
never
misfortune.
ever laugh at you.
And thank you for some of the wonderful suggestions. I have got woolly socks on today. I am thinking about getting waders, and I do intend to mark my stick. What a clever idea, to mark my stick an inch below the height of my wellies. But as you can see, I haven't done so yet because we were in such a hurry when we saw the sunshine this morning to get out before the rain comes back. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to try and stay dry. But thanks to everybody for enjoying my misfortune, shall we say.
It's a spring. Probably, I say, by the rust and that, and the look on it, it's no bed spring. What have you found?
Ow! Got a splinter!
Let's have a look. Yeah, got a splinter this time. His feet are dry, but he's got a splinter.
It's all phone, is it?
I don't know, it looks very
Very
sharp.
sharp. Right, I would play not patterned. The only thing is, I don't think Caroline would believe me that it was anything other than patterned after all the plane we've been finding. So
Let's have a look. Turn it over. Oh, that's nice. It's not the usual
different.
cobalt blue. It's like, oh, I'm not sure, almost a navy blue. Yes, that is a bit different. What have we got here? Well, they forecast rain. And Phil left the umbrella in the car. We could always use this one, but I think it's not really going to do the job, is it? There's a bit of a beach here. Still not much because the water level hasn't dropped much, but we can pop down and have a look and see if there's anything exciting down there.
actually this is exactly where we found the planter last time. It was down in the water there.
And
But this tree wasn't, yeah?
No, that wasn't.
That's arrived in the storm. It shows the power of the water.
I think there's a fossil where we found planter. Can't get through this very small hole, so let's see if my grabber will reach. Oh, pick up this fossil. Yes, that's a really nice crisp one. You can see all the lines on that. Let's take it over here so we can get some sun shining on it, see if that helps. And I'll put it there. Doesn't that look lovely?
From fossils to plastics.
There we go, we have a lump of plastic here we'll take home. Ooh, put that there, and a lump of wire as well. There we go.
Get them out of here.
What have we got here? Something electronic. I wonder what that's off. Anybody know? We'll take that home, put it in the bin. I don't think it's supposed to be by the river. We've got a wire staple for fence making. In case you ever want to make a fence, then I have the staple for you. Right, we're down at the water's edge.
I'm in the water.
Oh no, Phil's beating us into the water. Come on everyone, pop your wellies on, let's go in. Let's have a look if we can find anything in here. We've got to be very careful because this big stone slab is very slippery. I can see something there. Let's have a look. Oh
Our
no,
old
you
friend.
saw that, didn't you?
Our old friend.
Ridge Pottery. Is that a piece of something white down there? Is it a stone? A small piece of white pottery?
So next to it, is that another bit or is this?
There's another stone. Thing is, you see something that looks really exciting, it turns out it's just a very bright white stone. It's not even a bright white stone. What a disappointment.
Nearly heart-shaped though.
Nearly?
It is heart-shaped, I think.
You think so? Okay, we have a look.
I don't know, I think it's heart-shaped.
Oh yes, it is heart-shaped.
That way it looks heart.
Yep, where can we put
that
it?
Way, we'd put it on the moss somewhere. Here, in the sun, and it should look like it's...
There we go. It's heart-shaped rock. Very pretty. Now we go out a little deeper. Ooh, that suddenly gets very deep. I don't think we'll go out any deeper.
Go along the edge, is it?
See how far we can go along the edge. Now be careful everyone, don't want you
Did we
slipping.
go first here?
Yeah, so we send Phil on ahead. While Phil's going on ahead is something white. Is that something exciting or is it another white stone? I don't think I'm going to be able to get it out. Oh, it's gone. Floated away. It's on its way down to the sea. It's got away from us. We're going to try to make it to that beach in this water. It may be a bit deep, we may have to turn back, but until we do, don't forget, shout if you see something. Just a rock. Ooh.
Whoa!
Careful, careful. It's a little tiny bit something. Oh, it's a little top of a tiny jar. Very cute. Oh, there's a big lump of something. It's lemon, ceramic and quite thick, so I would say that's off a 1970s bathroom suite. Oh, I can see something there, which could be interesting. Shadows in the way, there we go. What is that? There. Oh, I think that's the lid of a teapot. And it's got little flowers on. Is that the Tudor rose? Looks like a treacle glaze brown. That's nice, a nice big chunk there. And right next door to another lump of house gold. Now that's a pretty colour. It's not a stone, is it? Not that colour. Let's have a look. What's plastic? Doesn't want to come out. Screwdriver, do you think? What do you reckon? Let's get my diggy thingy. Nice, that's a lot looser. Alright, it feels quite ceramic actually. Oh, that is unusual. I have no idea what that is. Ceramic. Bright yellow. I would have said that was plastic looking from a distance. No, it isn't. It's got a line up the side. What do you reckon? What could that be? A tiny bit of something. Oh, that's pretty. I'll tell you what that reminds me of. It's the Laura Ashley tags on some of the vintage clothing.
I found a brick!
Oh, Phil's found a brick. Right, here we come. Right, careful everybody. Try not to rush in your excitement to see the brick. Because we don't want to fall over and we don't want to step that way because it's very steep.
What, Rick?
Ooh, very nice. What's it?
From a town that is more famous for its steel than its bricks. But I found a couple of these along the Rhymney River and on the Srawi. Ebou Vale.
Ooh,
Ebou
good
Vale.
Welshie brick, Ebou Vale.
A nice clear writing and a nicely worn brick. Some years to that one. For centuries, the river has drawn people. The water was something that was absolutely vital to life, but also vital to industry. And this valley, the Rhymney Valley, along with most of South Wales, really came alive with the dawn of the coal boom. And along this river there were several pits, but there's one just upriver from here. On the left-hand bank you've got the village of Britha, which is where I was born, in the front room in a terraced house. And just opposite and a little further along you've got the town of Neutradiga. Now that was a little hamlet called White Rose, I believe, until the coming of King Cole. And then it became Neutradiga, named after Lord Tredegar who owned the land. And the colliery there was called Elliot Colliery. Sunk around 1883, the first shaft. Took them almost 2 years to dig the shaft. Imagine that, 2 years of digging in a hole. It cost men their lives as they breathed in the stone dust. It was a very tough and hard job. But down they went. And then sunk another one a few years later, had 2 shafts that took 15 months. And on the second shaft, the east shaft, they put in the latest technology, a steam winder. And that was known then in the 1880s, in the Victorian age, as a super pit. That's what they were known as, a super pit. Well, it turned out coal. Boy, did it turn out coal. In World War I, it was turning out 1 million tonnes plus a year in order to feed the war effort, and employed around 2,800 men in that colliery. A real big employer, a massive part of our history. Elliot Colliery was named after one of the founders of Powell and Dyffryn, who owned the colliery. Closed in 1967. So we left Britha just after that, after my dad passed away. But in my childhood, the sound of the hooter and the trams and the track and the trains and the clatter and the noise and all of the things of the colliery were right there in our valley. Part of the history that this river flowed through then, and perhaps we'll find a bit of that history here today. Who knows? Let's keep looking.
This looks lovely up on the bank. It's a rock, but look at the layers on that. That's really pretty.
I haven't put a mark on my stick, right? Which was a brilliant idea, except I didn't have time. But I don't think I need a mark on my stick. If you look at my stick there, which now looks about 2'6".
Whoa.
There's the line. That's 8 inches at least above my wellies. That's my knees.
Right.
We're not going forward, dear.
We'll go back and up onto the path. Can you see that fossil there under the water? I'll tell you what, I'll get my man to lift it. It seems loose. Will you take that out of the river for us, Phil?
I get cold hands.
Yeah, but you like us all, so you don't mind, do you?
Oh, look, me towels got wet now.
Look at that. That's a really crisp, clear one. You always find plenty of fossils here. Perfect place if you want to find some fossils without having to work too hard. Ooh, that's a long way down, but I think I can see something on it. Is it plain or patterned? Ooh, it's patterned. That, I think, is the Johnson's Indies pattern on a dinner plate. There's a bit of a beach and some steps. Should we go down? Oh, these steps are really dangerous because they lean forward. Be careful.
They're not the best steps in the world, yeah?
They're not, but I can see something worth going down there for. I don't know if you can see. I'll get back to you when I've climbed down. Right, let's see if we can see what I saw from up the top. I can see it. Can you see it? Let's get closer. Look. It's a really cute little jar.
Now that'd be a cracker for your watercolour painted.
It would. Let's give it a little swill.
This is glass. It's not of any significance in as much as it's smashed on ends.
I wonder what it was.
Glass rod.
It wouldn't be a glass rod for making things, I wouldn't have thought, because it's hollow, I think possibly off the top of a test tube or something.
It's too
A
thick,
long
isn't it?
flask. Which is thick.
It's very
A
thick.
very long neck bottle.
Is that a seam on it?
I think it's a crack there.
Right.
Let's have a look. You can't see through it because it's so full of mud.
But it's so sharp, I'd definitely take it with us because some little puppy's going to have a nasty cut off that.
Yep.
Either that or some little mudlarker. Now, you never know what you'll come across when you go mudlarking. You know, Caroline always says she never knew she needed something till she opened the Argos catalogue. Well, sometimes you come down on the beaches of these rivers and you haven't got a clue what you'll find. During the storm, we've had some serious damage to our fencing. And this piece of wood will be perfect for one of the repair jobs.
It's washed from somebody's garden,
It's come from
fence or
somewhere,
something, but
and I can't return it.
no.
It's probably travelled a few miles, but that's going in my garden to repair my fence.
Bill's found something.
Now, I know I said things congregate,
Yeah.
but I don't think that should work with colour. But I'm almost sure that may be patterned. There.
There. And is it plain or patterned? Oh, it's rich pottery.
It really looked patterned there. Well, this one's definitely patterned. This one is. I know that's patterned. I can see that
yes.
clear as a bell. And
Look
it's nicely
at
shaped.
that.
Look
Oh,
at
that's
that.
got some gilt decoration that's worn off. That's lovely. Possibly off the bottom of a flower pot, I think.
Probably its weight and shape has helped it to hold.
Yeah.
Because the little pieces are flying on by.
Oh, I think I can see something else there. Let's have a look. Do you think that's plain or patterned? Oh, that's a nice colour green. It's got a line on. Possibly a garden planter or perhaps a big mixing bowl. I'm not quite sure what that would have been. It's a really pretty green though.
So often as we walk along these rivers, I talk about the old industrial past and say how so much of it has disappeared. But here, we've got a beautiful example of engineering in a day that's long past. This culvert here, even what may be a modern repair with the girder, you can see the girder is virtually rotted away, so that's been there a century, with a big slab above it, and the beautiful archway that runs right under this mountain to bring out the water through the culvert. Absolutely glorious, and the stonework around here. And look what I picked up. I believe that's a cleft. When I worked in the pit, we still use sledge and cleft in order to split items and break things up. Smack the back of that with a sledge, boom, split it open. And I think that could have been dropped a long, long time ago by a workman who was building industrial and social history that we're enjoying today. And as well as what I believe is an iron cleft, steel cleft, I just placed them there. I've got a few other bits and pieces I've just picked up along this way. I've got them here. Just a lump of iron for you. Look at that. Oh, isn't that lovely? There's got to be somebody out there who finds that beautiful. I'm not the only one, surely. What do you think? Chunk of hinge?
I think so, yeah, it looks like.
Bolt all there?
Yep.
Rounded here?
Yep, I think you're probably right.
Possibly made in the colliery. Because at the colliery we had welders, we had craftsmen of all descriptions. I was a fitter in the pits, but we had the chaps there and we had the blacksmiths, and they could make anything. That could well have been made for the colliery in the colliery. Up there at Elliot's, or maybe at one of the others along the river. I like to think so. Put that over there.
Sorry if there's any wind noise, the wind has just picked up. They have forecast rain, so I think the wind is coming before the rain.
Now I know Caroline's going to say sewer pipe, which I appreciate, but I just like the fact that it was too tall.
Oh yes, look at that.
See?
Now it may not be sewer pipe.
Chamfered, isn't it?
Now I've got Richard Emery's book on pottery and I've been watching a lot of his videos. He tends to go to the Thames and he finds pottery shards, and he's a genius when it comes to that sort of thing. And I'm pretty sure I remember that inside is where this wasn't fired at such a high temperature, so the colour never changed. So, could be quite old. I'll have to look in his book and see what it says.
And then these two pieces, just to show you.
Which one first? This one?
That one and this one. Both, I believe, could well be from colliery baths. They introduced the colliery baths. At one time, everyone came home dirty black and had a bath at home in a tin bath. By the time I got into the collieries, the baths were well and truly in. Something I think that grew with the popularity of the idea of our national cold board and the rest. But I think they may well be, because they're quite chunky, aren't they?
They are.
That's
definitely for floors.
Sort of thing you could spray down and wash down. And see here, you can see the line in there that shows it was probably a very big quarry time. So could well be from there. Today, there are no pithead baths there. All the buildings are gone. It would have been a massive buildings, which has now been replaced by beautiful little cottages and bungalows for the older generation of New Tredegar to live in. But what does remain is the engine house, the Victorian engine house, and that steam engine I spoke of earlier. And that is now preserved, grade 2 listed, the engine house, and it's a museum and a cafe. And they've got a beautiful modern footbridge that they built, which I think out of the works of art we have is one of the better ones for reminding us of our industrial past. Well, let's keep looking and see if we can find something a little less chunky.
In the roots of this tree, I've just spotted a big lump of glass. Let's have a look at this. No, our sun's gone in, so it doesn't look so impressive, but look at that. That's a lid of a glass jar. This glass itself, it's like an aqua coloured glass. Now, if only we could find the other half. Orange pottery! This is our last river beach of the day. Already I can see something, so here we go.
This beach is accessible. Water level's usually out there.
Yeah.
Today it's going to be paddling time.
It is. Right. We need to get in the water, so come on, for the last time of the day, pop your wellies on, we're going in. It's copper. It's got a little bit of wildlife, so wash that off. I wonder if that was off something decorative or something practical. What's that? Caught underneath the ivy. It's got a lion on it. Oh no, is it a lion? Yes, it's a lion and a crown. Any ideas what that is? This poor tree, the roots have been washed through with the river. It's quite undermined. I think its days are numbered. At the moment it's being used as a big sieve for carting rubbish coming down the river. But sooner or later it's going to fall over. I think it's got a bit of a chance though, because the roots are going, if I stepped out here, the roots are going back under all these bits of gap in the rock, so I think it'll last a few more years until it completely cracks those gaps open, the rocks blow away and it falls into the river. What a shame.
Well, I've just realised that I've lost my grabber, so I've got to head back downriver to find it. And I think this is as good a time as any to say to you, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. Come back again soon. Don't forget, give us a thumbs up if you did like it. Comment below, we love to hear from you. And best of all, share it with anybody you know who'd love to be joining us, because the more the merrier as we go mudlarking in Wales, throughout the UK and beyond. Till the next time, bye!